And then he rocked up and Bobby Soto was there being like, "Hi Shia, how's it going?"
Yeah, we need to talk about his gangster voice.
He's not intimidating in the slightest. Like, never.
Hey, you better pay up. We were saying... Got the worst hay fever. You know what, guys? You better... you better pay up.
At one stage, he gets bitch slapped and he nearly, like, gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and there's like a tear in his eye.
Oh my god, he's not intimidating in the slightest. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 53 of the Straight to Series podcast. My name is Connor.
And I'm Ian, and I'm going to time this.
Yeah, let's time it. Welcome back, guys. We've been gone for what?
2 weeks?
2 weeks now?
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Been busy.
We have.
Living life.
Living life. Live, laugh, love. That's my motto.
You always say that.
I do always say that. I have a little wood cutout in my room, and I just have it popped up, and it just says live, laugh, love.
I love those. I love those, yeah.
And then above the door, it says no regrets. Yeah. Because that's...
You're a cool guy.
Because that's me. That's how I live.
You're a cool guy.
You know? My Instagram, live, laugh, love.
I'd subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, I mean...
Your personal channel.
Many people do, you know? It's just...
Isn't that what your Tinder results say?
I'm an icon. All right. Okay, let's move on from my sad Tinder account.
Let's break down this week's episode.
Let's. We're going to talk about the movie The Tax Collector.
The Tax Collector, starring Shia LaBeouf and a nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. Bobby Soto. We'll get into it. It felt like paying...
Bobby Soso.
Bobby...
You ask me.
Soso's even being generous. Anyway, we're also going to talk about Project Power.
Project Power, the new Netflix movie.
Which is... We like it.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon Levitt. It's pretty cool in this drought.
Yeah, it is. And it's a kind of a vehicle for Dominique Fishback.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. We will. And then we're going to talk about some news. Just some.
Yeah, we got some news. We got some interesting news. Some John Wick news.
Yeah.
Tease that. Yeah. I'm sure people probably know, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. They need to know if they don't.
We might talk about Army of the Dead, and then there's a trailer we might discuss.
And
we'll end the podcast.
Yeah. So let's get in.
Let's get into
the best movie of the year.
The Tax Collector.
The Tax Collector. So we've been on a Shia LaBeouf train.
Yeah.
The LaBeouf-a-thon has been going strong. Mm-hmm. And in a way, it's still going strong.
It is. Peanut Butter Falcon, by the way, is on the UK Netflix now. UK and Ireland Netflix.
Perfect movie.
Yeah.
Like 5 out of 5. Sorry, 7.5 out of 7.5. I feel
you feel stupid for saying that.
I look stupid. I sounded stupid.
You know what's happened? 2 weeks off. That's why.
2 weeks off. Yeah, Jesus, that rust. That ring rust, man.
You forgot we have our own.
Feeling it.
Our own perfect rating system.
I know.
7.5 out of 7.5.
That's Peanut Butter Falcon, but we also watched...
Yeah, we also watched...
Honey Boy. Another Shia LaBeouf perfection, like, pretty much. It's a great movie.
It is.
And so we thought... We only watched them because the Tax Collector trailer dropped.
Yeah.
A trailer that we enjoyed and said, hey, Cholo vibes from LaBeouf. Give me that.
But not...
I'll take...
But not Cholo.
But not Cholo.
Like all the controversy says.
No, he's just borrowing Cholo vibes because he grew up in that environment. Okay, get off my back. Twitter.
David Ayer says he is a Caucasian man who is inspired by...
Yeah, I'm apologizing on Twitter now, okay? Just give me a second.
Yeah, do it. Make a video talking about how you're not guilty.
I've been characterized.
I've been characterized as in a fraudulent manner.
Yeah.
No, so the Tax Collector is... it feels like paying your taxes. It's just awful.
You know the way you think of tax?
Yeah.
And you think of great things.
Yeah.
Not this movie.
No, this movie is taxing for my mind. I don't know if I have any more tax-related puns, but if I come up with one, I will throw them out
most definitely,
at some stage.
Most definitely.
But yeah, oh my god.
Air tax was collected.
Yeah, this is awful.
One of the worst movies I've watched this year. Maybe one of the worst movies... No, not that I've ever seen, but definitely from the trailer. Like, whoever made that trailer...
And the poster.
You should make movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the poster's excellent.
Really nice, yeah.
The movie is god-awful.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
I think it's my least favourite viewing experience this year.
I was limp for the whole movie. Not even a semi. Actually... There was one or two semis.
Yeah. All
why?
Based around LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf is doing serious work in this.
He is.
He's doing heavy lifting, and no matter how much weight he lifts, it still doesn't save the movie.
No, it really doesn't.
But whenever he's on screen, he is absolutely popping.
He really is.
And I need more of him. Can we get a spin-off? That's where David Ayer has nothing. He can be an executive producer.
That's it.
That's a nothing role.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, all those executive producers that do hard work.
I want to get.
Tell me what you do. Give me a job description.
I want to get the Creeper spin-off. That's what I want. Until he gets the laser tattoo removal, we might as well capitalize on the fact he has it on his chest.
Creeper still creeping.
Yeah, Creeper still creeping. We can just call it Jeepers Creepers and forget that that's a horror franchise. But
so there's one massive problem with this movie, and it's called the lead actor
Bobby Soto.
Bobby Soto.
He plays David Cuevas.
Does he deserve a name? He plays the main guy. He's just he's so plain.
He's awful. He's
so bad.
He's a bad actor.
I feel bad saying it, but then I actually said to Connor, I was like, let's blame his bad performance on David Ayer.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that I go through his filmography and find something good there and go, look, we can point to that and say, you know what, maybe David Ayer fucked up this whole script and also his performance.
Hey, listen,
no, the guy's just a nobody.
Well, no, he's in 2 episodes of Narcos Mexico, and he has a name in that.
He does have a name
which
in that.
Which means
something.
Yeah.
He is so bad in this movie. We say the opening scene starts with him and his wife in bed.
Yeah.
It looks like 2 strangers.
Yeah.
There's not a slither of chemistry.
None.
You're like, what is going on here? Who wrote this? Did a child write this?
There's no tension. There's no chemistry with everyone.
Did they just use the first take?
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf has chemistry with him, and that's because LaBeouf is giving him chemistry.
He has chemistry with the audience, the viewers. He's so good.
Yeah.
Everything interesting about this movie is Shia LaBeouf related. And it's actually crazy, and I know we are such fans of LaBeouf, and the only, as I said, the trailer for the Tax Collector is why we went, hey, let's watch those 2 career-defining movies that we haven't watched before, Peanut Butter Falcon and Honey Boy, because everyone was talking about it. There was loads of buzz about them.
Yeah.
Loved them so much that we were just enamored with Shia LaBeouf. We were considering LaBeoufing our faces. We were going to cut.
I'm still considering it.
I still want to go back and watch Fury now.
Yeah, me too.
And that is a David Ayer movie. This is actually, that's the only reason why I think Shia LaBeouf came back, is because he's like, hey, I made a good movie with him before.
Yeah. You're going to cast my buddy John Bernthal in this new movie? He's like, oh, maybe.
Yeah,
and then he rocked up.
We'll circle back to that, Shia.
And then he rocked up and Bobby Soto was there being like, hi, Shia, how's it going?
Yeah, we need to talk about his gangster voice.
He's not intimidating in the slightest. Like, never.
Hey, you better pay up. We were saying... Got the worst hay fever. You know what, guys? You better... You better pay up.
At one stage, he gets bitch slapped, and he nearly gets knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and there's like a tear in his eye.
Oh my god, he's not intimidating in the slightest.
Shia LaBeouf lost loads of weight for this role, and his piercing features are scary.
He's terrifying.
He's smaller than most people that he intimidates in this movie, and I fully believe he'd take them and he could throw down, and the fear in their eyes looks genuine.
Every other person in this movie is taller than Shia LaBeouf, and he's intimidating
and
heavier, except David. David's smaller than him. Shia LaBeouf is deliberately shrunk down to look small, intimidating, menacing, because he's on that, what's the diet?
Ketogenic diet.
He's on that ketogenic diet.
One of the most interesting things about this movie is that Shia LaBeouf's on a ketogenic diet. Well, Creeper is on a ketogenic diet, and he's meditating in the morning. He's doing his what's it?
Mindfulness.
And yet he's a murdering bastard at the same time. Like, I'm telling you, there's a point where David, I won't ruin it, but David's like, no, I don't think we can kill this guy. And Shia LaBeouf's like, don't give me blue balls, man. I want to kill this guy. I want it. And then he's off going, well, I'm on my ketogenic diet.
I'm on a ketogenic diet, practicing mindfulness.
Yeah, I just want to
wash out all
the noise before I attack today. I just want to.
And then I go. Yeah. Also, he's got
some Tinder game.
He's serious. He's banging every bird in here. He's like, dude, look at this.
And when you watch the movie, you go, I assume David Ayer had nothing to do with any of these nuances.
Shia LaBeouf's like, I'll be in your movie. I'm going to do the character I want. And I'm going to talk about my character in certain scenes. And you're just going to put that in the movie.
And David Ayer's like, he just said he'd do the movie. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, I didn't think that would work. Right. I really didn't think that would work. Did you read the script?
Dude, I don't think fucking David Ayer read the script.
I don't think he wrote a script.
He wrote it in a fever dream. I mean, look, this is all David Ayer's fault. We were looking at this to be like, No?
It can't be because he's a great filmmaker.
No,
he made a great version of Suicide Squad that we have no proof of.
This is proof that movie isn't good.
Oh my god.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yes. But didn't he just make a great movie beforehand? Was it Bright?
Don't think it was great. That wasn't good at all.
A good movie,
really.
actually, as well. He
Had
also
moments.
But he made Sabotage, that movie that was really bad also.
As well, he made End of Watch.
I enjoy End of Watch.
He made Fury.
I like Fury.
He wrote Training Day.
His pinnacle
is he
wrote Training
the
Day.
Thing he's always credited
20
for.
years ago now, or whatever.
Same way whenever Michael Bay makes a movie, it says from the director of Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Or now Benghazi.
And I feel like if we went back and watched Black Hawk Down, it's probably not as good.
I have watched it recently.
Is it still really good?
Yeah, it's still really good.
Great.
Yeah, but it's good now because it's like it's a veritable who's who of Hollywood future stars. Like so many people are in that movie.
Yeah, it doesn't. Who's the one? Legolas just dies.
Orlando
right at the
Bloom
Doesn't
dies at the beginning,
right?
and it's like, what the hell? They are just. It's like a movie with only male actors, and all of them are super famous as well.
And they kill anyone who's not white.
They do. And by the way, to make that movie nowadays would cost hundreds of millions just in actors' fees alone. It's insane how many big name actors are in that. But this movie, like when we're talking about David Ayer's other movies and his less entertaining movies are not so good.
Yeah, I'll even get his filmography up here so we can look at it.
Movies like Bright and Sabotage have some high points or some interesting things that you end up enjoying.
I will say I think Bright more than Sabotage. I remember feeling I felt, I don't know, I was offended by how bad Sabotage was.
Also Sabotage, he was directed, writing and producing it as well. But anyway,
so maybe when he has his fingers in every pie, that's when it gets really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. He didn't write Bright, and that's not great.
That's not great at all. But hey, he executive produced Birds of Prey, so it means he did nothing to do with that.
That movie's okay.
Yeah.
And he's doing The Dirty Dozen, a remake of The Dirty Dozen. Like,
whoever hired him. Did you not watch his last movie?
Did you not watch?
Because wouldn't you think you would do that? You look at someone's CV, you look at their resume, and you go, okay, well, the guy wrote Training Day 2001. I was not far off. 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Was the pinnacle of his career was 19 years ago.
Oh shit! He also wrote The Fast and the Furious. I didn't know that.
Did he? What?
Same year he wrote Training Day, he wrote The Fast and the Furious.
Wow.
I understand
then that's his pinnacle, obviously.
Yeah, all his bad ideas went into The Fast and the Furious, and all his good ideas into Training Day.
He wrote SWAT. Remember that movie?
Yeah, with
Colin Farrell.
Samuel
L. Jackson.
A young what's his name? Jeremy Renner. Isn't Jeremy Renner in that?
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. Yeah.
Yes.
He's the bad SWAT guy.
Yeah.
LL Cool J did the album, didn't he?
Did he?
Jamming with Samuel L. Jackson.
I seen that in the cinema, and I was such a kid that I went out. I came out of the cinema. I seen it with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was amazing. And my dad was like, no, it wasn't. You know when your parents should be like, yeah, it was. Good on you, buddy. My dad was like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I had that with...
Every time I came out with Babe, Pig in the City or whatever like that, I was like, that's the best movie I've ever seen. And my dad's like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, let me have something here.
That was like when I went to see Troy, and I turned to my dad and I went, that was the greatest movie ever. And he went, yeah, it was, and high-fived me.
That's what I wanted.
And even today, I still watch Troy and I go, this is the greatest movie ever.
I actually really enjoyed Troy.
I really enjoy Troy too. I only watched it again recently.
Brad Pitt. He's got that wrestler body.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
he looks
all
like he
about
could
that life.
suplex someone, which is so cool.
So yeah, he's got a problematic filmography when you look at it. It's so inconsistent.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. And I don't know how he's still on The Dirty Dozen. Like, after the tax collector comes out, surely anyone who's looking to hire him in the future is kind of... Surely you're taking steps back, you know?
This movie is horrifically bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Like, we were talking about... Before we started the podcast, we were talking about how we could review this, and we hate it so much that if I heard someone else talk about it like this, I go, there's something weird there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that it's that bad. Like, they're biased. Maybe they hate Shia LaBeouf, or they hate the lead actor, or they just hate gangster movies, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
It's just a bad movie.
And if you don't believe us, please watch it.
Yeah. Watch it. It's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 90 minutes long.
It's 95 minutes long.
To not make a movie entertaining in 95 minutes is so bad.
We've been using the same phrase for a while now.
Yeah.
Tight 90.
Tight 90.
We're like, that was a tight 90.
Yeah, that was awesome. You know what?
There's not an ounce of fat. This is all fat.
It's all terrible. All of it.
Except for Shia LaBeouf.
There's no action until the
and literally
the last
his body
half
doesn't
of
have
it.
a shred of fat either.
Yeah, no, because he's on that ketogenic
diet.
Yeah, he's shoving carrots up people's butts.
He sure does.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Good on him.
Good on
Out
him.
of context, that's a weird statement, but I don't care.
Well, watch the movie or don't. I recommend the second one.
I can't.
There's a point in this movie where if I wasn't reviewing it for the podcast, I would have turned it off.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's just at the start of the third act, I would say.
Basically, as we're ramping into the third act, I was like, I'm ready to switch this off
There's
right
a
now.
decision that's made
Yeah.
where if I was a producer of that movie, I'd go, oh, reshoots.
Yeah, reshoot
If
that
I was
now.
in the editing bay and I'm sitting down and they're like, oh, here's what we got so far. Mm-hmm. And they've just put it all together. The assembly cut, as they say. There'd be one point where I go, reshoots. Yeah. That was the worst decision that could possibly be made. Yeah. The worst. Absolute worst decision.
Yeah. Reshoot now.
This went from a 1-star movie to a 0-star movie with that one decision.
Exactly. And, you know, this movie was made in 2018, which means it's been edited for 2 years. Or they've been sitting on it for 2 years.
First of all, it was filmed in 1 month.
Yeah.
And it was it finished filming in August 2018. So this film, I say 6 months easily, post-production done.
Yeah.
Easily. Like, it could be done faster. Like, Steven Soderbergh would have had that out and all. Like, that guy edits as he films. Like, nearly by the end of the shoot, he's almost got the film finished.
Also,
sorry.
No, but also we were saying, like, we were thinking there's going to be a lot edited out of this movie. Like, we feel like a lot's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
If it was shot in 1 month, maybe there's not that much on the cutting room floor.
It does feel like there's actually, right at the... like 5 minutes in, we noticed that his top. There's a scene where the gangster, the lead guy,
David,
leaves his house wearing something, and then the next shot he's wearing a completely different outfit, and we're going, oh, I bet
this
we
scene
nearly
that's
connected.
later,
We connected
there.
Scenes where we go, oh, I think that was taken out there and put there.
Yeah.
They shuffled it around a bit. It's trash all the way through.
It's so quiet throughout the whole movie, and every music or sound design or scoring that they have, it's awful.
Now, if it was quiet, but Aaron Sorkin wrote the script, you're like, this is amazing because the dialogue is just fantastic.
It's musical.
It's pure crap. Like I feel like I'm biased, but I'm not biased.
Yeah.
And we also we were so high in the trailer.
Yeah, we were.
So if you don't believe what we're saying here, you should watch the trailer. Yeah. But I do feel like if anyone else spoke to me about a certain movie like that, I'd be like, you hate a certain actor, because my dad does that with since I'm just like harping on about my dad, he would say, oh, I hate Will Ferrell. So like any movie that stars Will Ferrell is like, that's an awful movie, and I go, oh, I connect that with your hatred for Will Ferrell. I'll never believe any review of any Will Ferrell movie.
My dad doesn't like Tom Hardy because he can't understand Tom Hardy in movies. He says he always puts on an accent and he can never understand what he's saying. So whenever I'm like, oh, Tom Hardy's in it,
he should watch Capone. He feel like a fool.
I told him, I was like, you should watch Capone then because you'll love it.
I hate that.
He was like, well, I actually love it. And I went, no, his accent's the worst it's ever been in that. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Also, it cost $30 million to make this movie.
Where's that?
It felt like it was made on an iPhone.
Where does that money gone?
It went on Shia LaBeouf's tattoo. By the way, Shia, why did you ruin your perfectly good chest?
I know.
For this trashy movie? So I don't know if I say a lot of people have seen the pictures, but he just got this massive chest tattoo. It encompassed his whole chest.
Yes, and it has Creeper written on it.
It's a horrific tattoo. He got it for this role. When do we see it?
Once. In one scene.
And do we see it clearly?
Nah, it's through like yeah. It was a bad decision.
It was a terrible, terrible decision.
That's why he should get a spin-off film just so we can make use of that tattoo before he has to get paid to have it laser removed.
He should have talked to Mark Wahlberg before that, because Mark Wahlberg's always talking about all the tattoos he's got lasered off, and he should have talked to Ben Affleck and asked him, how's your career going since you got the big massive phoenix on your back?
And then Ana de Armas walks in, he goes, never mind, I'll leave.
He's like,
going really well, I can see, okay, I'm out of here.
Did we say, by the way, that David Ayer wrote
directed and produced.
Did we say that?
No,
every element.
Yeah, we said it was all down to him, but I don't think we officially said. This is David.
We were alluding to it.
Yeah, this is David Ayer's movie. This is the movie he
100%.
wanted to make. This is exactly his vision, and it's terrible.
So anybody who's hashtagging release the Ayer cut, your homework is to watch this movie.
Yeah,
and then see what you feel like.
Yeah,
what's the hashtag after that?
Watch this movie and tell me, please, tell me why we should still release the Ayer cut.
And then watch Bright and watch Sabotage.
Yeah, and then tell me why we should release the Ayer cut.
Or why you believe that it's amazing. Yeah. That's what I want to know. And also, I should say, there's 2 UFC fighters in this. There's Brian Ortega and there's Brendan Schaub. There's
nice
so
that
many.
You consider him a UFC fighter, not a comedian now.
Yeah. I made my choice.
Okay,
and I stand by it.
I understand.
Brian Ortega is a UFC fighter. He's got a proper role in this movie. I feel like they were just handing out roles for this movie.
It's fucking
like you
weird.
could have won a role for this movie in like the local lottery.
You know what I
could have been in this movie.
When you told me he was in UFC, I was like, oh, that's why he's a bad actor. What's Bobby Soto's excuse?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's a career actor and he's terrible.
Everything about this movie. It's on 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
Deserves to be lower.
Yeah, it does.
It's so bad. And again, like I said, everyone comes out of this movie looking bad except Shia LaBeouf, because every scene, every second he is on screen, he's awesome.
He is lifting so much weight, and it's so sad to see him in such a crap movie. You gotta see his intensity. It scares the shit out of me.
It's terrifying. In a bad movie, I get sucked in whenever he's in it.
It just shows. It's a credit to his acting ability that he can lose all that weight and be even more
intimidating.
Scary.
I also like it's kind of shit that the build up to this movie was all about Shia LaBeouf's doing brownface or whatever it is,
it's completely incorrect.
Yeah, it's incorrect. He's very clearly just a Caucasian guy who grew up on the streets.
Yeah, he's just grown up in that environment, so he's adopted certain styles and a certain way of talking. He's not trying to be Latino or anything like that.
Also, we're sorry that the only person we're complimenting in this movie is the white guy, but he is literally the only one in this movie who's doing a good job. George Lopez, a famous comedian and Latino actor, terrible in this movie as well.
And see, the thing is, I would give them an out because David Ayer gave them nothing to work with, except for Bobby Soto, because I just don't. No matter how bad the script is, he's awful in this movie.
Also, if you're seeing Shia LaBeouf and he's giving all this to his character, that leaves the window for all of you to go, well, maybe I'll do this with my character. Maybe I want to do this. Inspiring.
When you see him doing such great work, you go, if I was on set and I was Bobby Soto, I'd be like, oh fuck, I need to get some acting steroids. Yeah, I need to up my game.
I need to think of something to make my character more interesting.
First day on set, the whole night, I wouldn't sleep. I'd be in front of the mirror doing all my scenes and going, how would Shia approach this if he was playing my character? Yeah. After that one day.
Also, just seeing him there, cauliflower ear, head shaved, standing like this, like an absolute boss.
You see just a peek of his tattoo. You're like, whoa, the dedication.
He's got the full suit on.
He's definitely on a ketogenic diet.
He is.
He's definitely embodying that character.
He looks awesome.
He's spectacular in such a shit movie.
I know. It's terrible. It really
I would give this movie 1 out of 7.5, and I hate doing that when you see such great work from Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. He's great. He's great in this movie. Also, when I was talking to my friends about Shia LaBeouf, I was surprised at how many of them were like, oh yeah, I had a serious crush on him when I was growing up. And I'm like, really?
I've heard the same thing. I've heard Holes.
Holes, yeah.
I've heard loads of younger girls going, oh, when Holes was out, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, his hole or your hole?
My
like,
holes, yeah. I didn't realize that, but now I'm all over the Shia train.
Like, of course,
of course.
Subscribe hard to that
any day of the week. I just need him to look into my eyes, But here's the thing: we watched the Hot Ones episode. We've spoken about it before of Shia LaBeouf
many times,
and he talks about being on the set of Fury and how they were all kind of doing crazy stuff and one upping each other, which makes me think that that's definitely what he was going for with this, where he was
totally
he was trying to elevate everyone,
and he inspired nobody. It felt like everyone was like, just give me the paycheck. Come on.
Exactly.
But Bobby Soto, worse than everyone else. When I watched the movie, I was thinking on the first day of set, like, when Bobby Soto and Shia LaBeouf do a scene together, how is the director not going, you know, like Peter Jackson, he's famous for going, I'm after getting this guy to do 3 months of training, but I need to recast him. Or what was it? Ryan Gosling in Lovely Bones.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling put on 50 pounds. He's drinking Häagen-Dazs after Häagen-Dazs. Looked awful to play the father of Saoirse Ronan.
In the Lovely Bones.
And then, like, so close to shooting Peter Jackson went, he looks still too young. Let's get Mark Wahlberg in there, who probably was ripped as well. You know,
I've seen that movie. Mark Wahlberg does not look fat at all.
No.
He's still ripped Mark Wahlberg, and at one stage he gets beaten up by fucking Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
he gets beaten up by Stanley Tucci.
Don't believe that.
And you're like,
don't believe that.
Yeah,
especially with his criminal record. Don't believe that.
And Ryan Gosling is like, he talks about that all the time.
He's
like,
an absolute professional, though. Obviously, he's like, oh well, I need to look a bit older, so I'm gonna just drink Häagen-Dazs.
Yeah, but he was like, he even takes that on himself. He's like, oh yeah, it was my fault and everything. It's like, no, it was not your fault, Ryan.
And who was the guy? Is it like Pete Townsend that was supposed to play Aragorn?
Yeah, and I'm not sure.
That was like the first day of shooting or something like that. He was doing sword training for months and months.
Viggo Mortensen came in late.
Look at it, even Back to the Future. They shot like half the movie with a different a different actor, and then they were like, "Oh, we made a massive mistake. We need to get Michael J. Fox in here." My whole point though is that David Ayer, first day of shooting, went, "Oh my God, fuck this, Bobby Soto. Sorry about you, but you're terrible. Off my set you go. Let's get someone else in there." Anybody would have been better.
Never mind that. Did he never speak to Bobby Soto about his acting? Like, never mind recasting. Okay, sure, maybe you don't want to recast him because you only have a $30 million budget for the movie. You pull him aside and you're like, Bobby, you need to step up your fucking game because you're terrible in every scene. Like, what are you doing? Seriously.
Yeah, not in a Stanley Kubrick way, though.
No, but like, maybe a Quentin Tarantino way. He talks about, like, Jamie Foxx talks about being pulled up by Quentin Tarantino all the time on the set of Django Unchained.
Or, do you know what? What about you talk to Charlotte Buff and say, can you say something to Bobby? Because you're a great actor and I think you could inspire him.
Well, sorry, you talk to Creeper.
But can you keep the Creeper
and you could be like, vibes? He'd be like, can you tell Shia to help Bobby with his acting? Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah. What you gonna do if I don't do it? And you're like, oh, okay, Shia. How's the ketogenic diet going?
I'm so scared and aroused at the same time.
Yeah. I would be tempted to tell my friends who had a crush on Shia LaBeouf to watch this movie and see how they react to it.
Yeah, I wonder. I think they'd be still into it.
But also, I'm like, I don't want to put you guys through that.
It's shockingly bad. It's 95 minutes long. It was too long. It took me ages to watch the movie.
Yeah, it's a bad actor buffet, this movie. It really is.
It's horrible to say, but this made me just want to go onto Facebook. You know that way?
Yeah, and just rant.
My fingers just wanted to scroll.
Oh, right.
You know? It's like that thing is just like scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that. I hate that I still do that, but I hate that. You know, when you watch a movie and all you want to do is just look up anything else. You need some other stimulus. That's the problem. You're like I'm not getting anything from this.
It's your fault I'm like this.
Yeah.
You know, totally victim blaming. But at the same time, it's totally fair.
I could watch The Irishman.
Yeah.
3.5 hour long movie. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is great.
I'm going to go home right now and watch Drive again for like the 4th time at this stage.
It goes down so easy.
Yeah. And then this shite. Oh, it's awful. And again, I don't think, like, the takeaway from this is I don't know how you can ask for the Ayer cut.
Yeah.
Which is why Straight to Series would like to officially announce its support for the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
We support you, Schumacher.
Joel, we love you, buddy.
R.I.P.
We see that Val is coming to...
Rest in penis.
Rest in penis, buddy. We see that Val is coming to the DC Fandom on the 22nd of August. We hope he's bringing a cut.
We hope he's bringing a set of bat nipples.
A set of bat nipples. More button nipples for me,
please.
That's
it. That's what we want. Button nipples.
So, Joel...
And more Jim Carrey.
More Jim Carrey and
being
more...
Jim Carrey.
And more Tommy Lee Jones being upset with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Please.
I beg of you.
Yeah. And David Ayer, you can take a backseat.
Yeah, so the Straight to Series podcast officially endorses the Schumacher cut.
Yeah, exactly. And we can put David Ayer to work on Bright 2. Whatever. Just keep him busy.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep him busy.
Have Max Landis write a script for him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have to make it good. Just like make it 5 pages of just loose ideas. And David Ayer will have a field day with that. He'll love it. Orc Rebellion. That's what he'll write. And he'll just
Will Smith being cool.
Will Smith Last Fairy or whatever the fuck the thing was. He could use a wand or something.
I don't know.
Oh man. Anyway,
it went in and out like Chinese food.
Like Joel Schumacher. Okay, let's talk.
Nice.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to a movie we enjoyed.
No, we did enjoy.
Yeah, we did enjoy.
Yeah. Now, next to The Tax Collector, I would enjoy almost anything.
I'd enjoy a woman shitting on my chest next to The Tax Collector.
I was gonna say torture porn, but Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. A Boston Steamer right there on your chest.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Just came to my head.
That sounds right though.
It does sound right, doesn't it?
If someone asked me for a
The
Boston
steam.
Steamer,
I just want to see the steam.
yeah,
Rise.
Yeah, I can feel the warmth there on my chest.
So horrible.
It'd be awful. Anyway, Project Power.
Project Power is the new Netflix movie that just came out the 14th of August.
Yeah, we learned about it, 5 weeks ago? 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Netflix do this.
Yeah.
They just drop it, like, with big names. Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon Levitt. This is the type of movie where, you know, a lot of Netflix movies ago that would get lost in a cinema. I think this might be able to fend off a bit of competition. It's hard to tell right now in this this climate.
Not if it was pitted against a Marvel movie.
Well, nothing really,
yeah.
you know.
But like, yeah, I mean, it might have been
In a
okay.
slow week.
Yeah, in a slow week.
I think this would have made money.
But
I don't think it would be box office sensation.
no, my argument would be though, we wouldn't get this movie the way it is now if it was released to the platforms, because this movie is R-rated.
Yeah.
Like the violence and the special effects and the makeup of all the stuff that goes on.
I appreciate all these elements you're describing.
Totally. Like, it's outstanding how well they've done. It only has an $85 million budget, and all of that money is on screen.
If you look at The Tax Collector, and 30 million went into that, I swear, I would look at that movie and go, that could have cost 5 million. When you actually look at some of those movies that only cost 5 million to make, I'm like, that could have cost 5 million.
Totally.
This movie, 85 million, it astonishes me.
I would have said at least 100 million, maybe 120.
When you consider something like Wolverine Origins cost 150 million to make.
How?
And then you look at Project Power and inflation by like another 10 years of inflation. 85 million. These directors did some serious heavy lifting.
They did. We should call them out.
I appreciate them.
Yeah.
Also, the directing style, the angles that they use.
Really good.
They embrace Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans specifically. The city of New Orleans pops. And, you know, it's funny because every week we do this and we kind of put two movies together, sometimes at random. And then we actually notice afterwards that there's a lot of comparisons you can draw. So for this one, like, LA is clearly, they're trying to make it a character in
the Tax
Collector. And it just isn't there. It's all beige. It's all plain.
And if it is there, it's very undecided.
Yeah.
Is it a good place? Is it a bad place? There's not a single location that's interesting. We were saying it could have been all filmed on a set.
It's not dynamic in any way. It's like, do we love LA? Do we hate LA? Is LA a terrible place? Is it a great place?
Either way, it doesn't embrace it.
No.
Whether it's going to be negative or positive.
Whereas this is a love letter to New Orleans. It's shot beautifully.
They pick some amazing looking, interesting locations where you're like, that's just fantastic. Look at that.
When you walk by there, you're like, oh yeah, this is a scene in a movie for sure. Yeah. Like, this is a love letter to New Orleans. It's its own character. Joseph Gordon Levitt walks around in a Saints jersey the whole time.
Looking badass.
He's great. Badass in this. But to stay on point, they even reference Katrina and all this stuff, you know? Joseph Gordon-Levitt says, when was the last time men in suits stood up for New Orleans, where we tried to have them look after New Orleans? You know?
I should say that of the 85, it's 85.1, so specific that I believe it. You know,
I believe it, yeah.
So it cost 85.1 million to make.
Yeah.
They spent 80.4 million in Louisiana specifically.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how much of a love letter it is to the city.
Oh, absolutely.
Or to the location.
But then, like
that's a huge amount of the budget to spend in just one location.
And there's only one scene in this entire movie where the CGI doesn't hold up, I would say.
And it's a scene where you're like, that kind of thing never holds up. Like what you're trying to do there
never works.
It never works, and
never looks good.
I do appreciate that they kind of hide it a bit.
They do. They do a good job.
There's steam. There's a lot of shit going on. The camera's a bit shaky. I'm like, okay, I understand. They're probably just trying to hide some blemishes.
Yeah, they do a good job where they're like, we know this doesn't look great, but we still wanted to do it anyway, so we're going to do our best as filmmakers to hide it.
But then there's certain scenes where I go, this is better than something like Black Panther that costs 180 to 200 million to make.
100%.
Like, and I mean many leagues above.
When
it comes to CGI. And it's cost 85 million to make, and it's a Netflix movie.
When it comes to CGI and dynamic action as well, like the entire third act of Black Panther, just using it as an example, falls apart completely.
It falls apart. It really does.
It's awful.
And the CGI just shits in your eyes. It's
It's awful.
Crass.
It's god awful.
Everything's weight. It has no weight to it.
Yeah, everything has no weight, and also everything looks like a video game.
You know, when someone throws a punch,
way.
I'm like, there's no impact. There's no impact. They both look like they're just floating
now
on a green screen.
Black Panther has some great fight scenes as well. The one in the casino, the one on the waterfall.
The casino is fantastic.
Yeah.
The waterfall. Talk about impact.
Yeah, exactly. But
they're not CGI characters.
Not CGI
of course, you can see it, and the same in the casino. Like you can see it.
But in this, it's like all of the scenes, even scenes that heavily rely on CGI,
but because it's all rated as well, it really helps.
It does.
It really helps because we can get to see some blood. We can get to see a bit of guts as well. At times.
Lot of guts,
and
sometimes.
It doesn't really lean into it too much. So when you do see it, you go,
shocking.
Okay, someone's hand gets shot off, and it's gruesome. You just see it, and I'm like, oh, they just showed that.
There's times in The Tax Collector where it gets incredibly violent all of a sudden nowhere. I've a muted reaction to it. Don't even care. It doesn't even bring me back into the movie. I just went, oh, we're doing this now. Okay.
And that's why I appreciate the film like Drive.
Yeah.
Because it's shot so beautifully. You got that amazing soundtrack, and then all of a sudden
he's stomping a guy's head in an elevator.
Soup, and I'm like, whoa! It's so visceral because it's what's the word I'm looking for? The contrast is so vast.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what I love. Also, just because we're talking about that specific scene. Mm-hmm. Think about the start of that scene where the lights go down and he makes out with Carrie. Is that Carrie Mulligan?
Yeah,
is it
Carrie Mulligan?
Yeah, Carrie Mulligan, and the music comes in, and it's just this beautiful romantic scene.
All this tension that they've been building up.
It also it's very much.
It's dreamlike.
It takes you out of the reality for a second, and then the lights come back on. And then he's stomping a guy's head and turning it into ice cream, you know, on the ground. And that comparison and the contrast is so crazy that you're like, holy shit, I just seen something there.
I just felt so many emotions right there, all in the space of a minute, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where my interest didn't peak at all. Like if you see my heart rate through Tax Collector, it's so low.
It's low.
Actually, you'd be worried about
my
me.
Fitbit called an ambulance when I was watching it. That's how low my heart rate was during that fucking movie. Yeah.
Where Project Power, it is very dynamic. Now, at the same time, I don't think it's a great movie. I think it's an okay movie.
Script issues, a lot of script issues.
Yeah, at the same time, like it's a nice movie to get in this current climate where the virus that shall not be named has all the cinemas closed and there's just a massive drought. This kind of pops.
Yeah.
And we should say the music
is awesome.
Everybody is cool as fuck in this movie.
Everyone is
and I
so
appreciate
cool.
it.
Me too.
It's not like false coolness where you're like, hey yo bro, the way I feel like Charlize Theron in The Old Guard, and I go, this is weird, and this dialogue is not realistic at all.
Yeah.
You could say in Project Power sometimes the dialogue's not realistic, but the actors are so fucking cool,
so charismatic,
and so convincing.
Yeah.
The scene, it's in the trailer. We were talking about the scene this before we started the podcast. Jamie Foxx just looks at the camera and goes, ooh. And you're like, me, as a short white guy, could never do that and make it cool. Never in my entire life could I be cool enough to look straight down the barrel of the camera and go, ooh. And the fucking sass off that man, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. You fine.
Shia who? Like, oh my God, Jamie.
No, I'm
you 50-year-old dime piece.
Yeah, you are. You fine. It's like, it's so cool. David Diggs would be right at home in this, as opposed to in Snowpiercer. Yeah.
This is exactly what he needed.
This is the level of cool that he brings to that role.
I like that. That would be a great casting, him in this movie. Get him in the sequel.
Get him in the sequel.
If there is a sequel,
I hope for a sequel.
I hope for a sequel, and I hope that the Old Guard can maybe be pushed back while they actually embrace Project Power.
Yeah, I think this is 10 times better than the Old Guard. I know that we're using the Old Guard as a comparison, but it's
for a lot.
But
when it comes to Netflix, especially in action movies.
Look, it's the Netflix action movie that I think is completely overrated. Still.
Okay. Let's look at this year, okay?
Yeah.
If we were to rate the main 3 action movies that I think of when I think of Netflix in 2020, I go Extraction is number 1, just because of how interesting the action is shot.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic. Like, the movie has problems, sure, but the action is just out of this world.
Another movie with great locale as well.
Yeah. Really is. Like, what a character.
Yeah.
Bangladesh,
yeah.
And then I'd go Project Power.
100%.
And then I would go
the Old Guard. The boring, plain Old Guard. Yeah, 80%.
And I know we're wrong. Like, we're wrong compared to the world.
Yeah,
but I actually think the world is wrong.
I think the world is wrong.
World, listen up.
Yeah, we'll be proved right in years to come. Trust me. When we read all those articles about re-examining the Old Guard in modern times or whatever the hell it is. But
maybe that was slightly problematic.
Yeah, I don't know. but Project Power is so good. And what we were saying is, like, everyone is so cool. Like, Jamie Foxx kills it in every scene. Joseph Gordon Levitt, he's playing like a boring cop character, like the character in the script where you're like, oh, this could just be like plain normal
you
guy.
Mean the Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing the Dark Knight Rises character,
and he's awesome.
But he's awesome.
But he's doing a twist on it.
He's great in the Dark Knight Rises, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that movie.
No, he is very good in that.
But he is even better. He's just got more charisma. There's more flavor to him.
He's so charismatic, and even though he doesn't have to, he is trying to do character things in it, which
funny,
is cool.
And there's some things where you're like, that could be lame, but because Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's actually great.
And Jamie Foxx, like, he's so good in this movie.
He's too cool for school.
He's so cool.
But we should talk about Dominique Fishback.
That's what I wanted, because I don't want you guys to think we're ignoring her, because we're
just leaving the best for last.
The best for last. She is the best part of this movie.
She schooled me.
She schooled me.
Because when I watched the trailer, I was like,
I'm not going to like her.
I'm not going to like her.
I had the exact same reaction.
I thought so.
Yeah, I'm going to like, oh, what's her thing? She raps?
Yeah,
whatever.
It seemed cliche.
It does.
That's what I did. And I was schooled, and I gladly would eat those words. But I have eaten them.
Yeah,
I've eaten them.
I apologize, Dominique, for judging you on a bad trailer.
Yeah.
Bad trailer in terms of portraying you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's awesome. I'm invested in her story completely.
She pops in every scene she's in, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt has said himself that she's his favorite element of this movie.
Also, when you're with Jamie Foxx, very talented actor, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, incredibly talented actor. Sorry, they're both incredibly talented actors. You know, they're both award-winning actors.
That's an intimidating duo to work with,
and she holds her own in every scene.
She really does,
and steals scenes from the two of them.
Also, can we just address the fact that she can act in front of the gorgeous Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
She had to have been sweating.
Yeah.
Like
I was sweating
in the presence
watching it.
of that cool motherfucker who can also play piano and sing. Like,
he's the voice of an angel.
He's got such a great voice.
Yeah.
Like, how is he not singing in every movie?
Jamie Foxx, I look at him and I'm like, there's a guy that fucks. You know? You're like,
oh yeah,
there's a guy that fucks.
There's a guy that smashes.
Yeah. But I mean, look, everyone's cool in this movie, and the CGI is great, and
better than it almost should be.
And we should talk about the actual cool element of it, which is a pill that gives you a power for 5 minutes. It's like a drug, and they're all based on animals as well. We find out.
Yeah, we find out. Even the pill looks cool and interesting, and you get to see. And this isn't a spoiler.
No,
you kind of get to see what it's doing, the chemical reaction within someone's body. You see the cells and all like bursting.
Yeah.
It's so fun, but we should talk about the damage.
We should.
This is a cool move, interesting move that I did not expect.
Neither did I, and it takes it into such a new level. So it's an experimental pill, and people get these powers
for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes,
which is very cool as well, because they have to time themselves. Because if you're say bulletproof or you're strong, that's about to wear off in 5 minutes. You want to change whatever strategy you've taken.
You want to know when that's running out.
Okay, I won't get shot in the face now.
Yeah, but like. It's cool. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you see it in the trailer if you've watched it. He's bulletproof. That's his power, and he gets shot in the side of the head. And
this is like the first trailer. Like this is there, and I think they released a clip.
This
as
is
well.
the money shot. This is the money shot for the whole movie.
This is what sold me.
Me too.
I must say, in the trailer, I was like, "That looks fun."
It looks amazing. By the way, him getting shot in the head looks amazing. One of the best shots in the whole thing.
It's like they actually use like some air pressure thing.
Yeah,
to put ripples on his face because it looks like the gunshot. The impact, whatever you would call that.
No, the impact. Oh, well, you have the explosion.
The pressure from the shot, because it's very close to his face. You just see his whole face ripple with the shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah. You even see, like, the blast powder on the side of his head for being shot from that close. But, yeah, even after it, his skin is unbreakable and he's super tough and all. But even throughout the entire movie after that, he's got a red eye, he's got a damage here, he's got like a scar.
It still slightly penetrates his skull. Mm-hmm. And it's just so cool because then once you see that and you go, okay, so you still have some collective damage.
Yeah.
Even if you use that drug. Then you see other characters and they've got like scars down their neck or they've got like a fucked up eye and you go, What's their power?
Yeah. What's the power there, you know?
What relates to that damage?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so fun when you actually see then their power. Especially the dude, Xerxes from 300.
Yeah.
I think it's like Santino. I just want to say his name. Rodrigo
Santoro.
Yeah. He has a massive scar down his neck. And throughout the whole movie, I'm like, what's his power?
What's the power? What's the power? And
I won't say,
no.
Machine Gun Kelly's power is amazing.
It's so cool. And
one of my favorite scenes.
One of my favorite scenes too. When you're watching that scene, you're like, this should be a better movie. this movie because it's so good.
The directors here, we should call them out because they did an amazing job.
Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman.
Yeah. Let me see what they've done actually. Oh, they've done a few movies. Look, co-director. Oh, they did Nerve.
Is Nerve good?
Nerve is okay. It's not great. It actually, it does have some cool camera work though.
Okay.
Nerve was the one with James Franco's brother. What's his name?
Dave
Franco.
Oh, that's I know the one you're talking about. It's the game where you
it's like an app or something
and you
like
earn
that.
more and more as the more bad crazy stuff.
It has like Purge vibes.
Yeah.
No, that is a techno thriller adventure. Is what the genre is.
Okay.
Described as.
I assume he's worked with the other guy.
Yeah, I'd say
the entire time.
Yeah. So Paranormal Activity 4 he made as well, and Paranormal Activity 3. These guys need more work.
Yeah, they do, and I think they're going to get it after this movie.
I would love if they their next movie is Project Power 2.
Yeah.
And we just get a better script.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching this movie, and I get this with a lot of movies where I go, the concept's amazing, but everything else is not great.
The execution is not there.
It's not there. They didn't stick the landing, but this concept is so fun.
Yeah.
And do you know what?
You have everything right except the script. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to say, well, all these superhero movies out, like this movie would struggle. But when you watch it, you go, this is fun and interesting, which says a lot. It's because like it's so oversaturated. Because this is kind of like, hey, you're a superhero for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like that's it. That's really the concept of the movie.
Yeah,
it's fun, and I want to see a sequel because that's me thinking we can't remake it right away.
No,
we can't reboot it.
No.
Give us a sequel.
But that's the thing.
I want all the main 3 actors back.
Me too.
I want them back.
Definitely Dominique. Definitely Joseph Gordon Levitt. And
I need them all. I must
Jamie
say.
Foxx.
Actually, what a trio.
And the daughter, Jamie Foxx's daughter, is like very well acted as well. She's awesome. Yeah, it's one of those, like, sequels always, you get to do whatever you want in a sequel. People say when you do a trilogy, the second one is normally the best because you can do whatever you want with that, you know?
I think now we know all their superpowers.
Exactly.
So that's fun.
Yes.
I won't give away.
We know a lot more about the universe now, and when you don't have to establish everything and do the origin, you can just have fun with it. So that's what I'd like to see in a sequel.
I'd love to see in a sequel there's a drought of the pills. They're even harder to come by.
That would be cool. Or even like...
Or they're everywhere.
Or people are just developing, the more you take the pills, some people, it's just making them constantly like that and they can't turn it off.
Yeah. I would love to, do you know what? I'd love to investigate, even though this kind of doesn't necessarily relate to the characters. No. Well, actually, it could with Joseph Gordon Levitt.
Yeah.
There's a new precinct.
Yeah.
Or new division.
Yeah.
The Power Division.
You know? Yeah, it deals exclusively with that.
Yeah, it sounds like The Boys.
Yeah, it does. It does sound like The Boys.
But I'm into it anyway.
I'm into it too.
And then give them 100 million this time.
Yeah.
Or 120. Fuck it. 120.
120.
They can spare the cash.
Yeah,
They're throwing money at directors at the moment.
Yeah,
200 million to the Russo brothers for their next movie.
Come on.
I think Netflix can tighten those or
loosen the purse strings on that. Yeah, no, for Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, they get a new division.
Yes,
that's like,
because he's now got loads of experience.
And
that's if he lives or not.
Yeah, that's true. And they don't have pills. They're like, oh yeah, there's a government version. Like, oh yeah, he might be dead.
Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's alive. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Definitely gave something away there. I'm sorry.
Maybe in his memory they do it.
Yeah.
But like instead of like the government has like, oh no, you don't need the pills anymore. We're just gonna give it to you. But it's, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I like the damage to it. I like that
that was great. That was such a fun. Do you know? And that's those kind of details that get lost in a bad movie.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, you just have these powers. But then when you think about it, like, oh yeah, if my power was fire and I was on fire all the time, after 5 minutes, I'm still on fire.
Yeah.
So that's bad. You know, if I'm bulletproof, even if my skin is bulletproof, underneath can be damaged as well.
And the body horror of the whole thing. We were actually saying that Fantastic Four, the amazing Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick made by the amazing director Josh Trank.
Yeah.
All he talked about was how he wanted to make an ode to the films like The Fly, where it's all about these horrible physical changes. We get none of that in that movie. Obviously, we get nothing from that movie. All I get is a limp dick from that movie.
Yeah, me too.
This is that movie.
This is that movie. This is what Josh Trank wanted to do with this movie. It's body horror in a superhero setting
and executed amazingly. The only problem is, as we said, the script is lacking a bit. It's a bit cliche in moments.
Yeah.
And
get the Marvel scriptwriters in with them and give them maybe X-Men or something like that.
Yes, please.
And then
there's good stuff in this though.
There's
some good stuff.
Dude, I'd say some of the storyboards for all this looked awesome, and they execute on most of them. I would say.
Yeah, I would say. When it comes to like the powers and the fighting, the majority of it looks brilliant.
80 to 90% of it, I would say, is just as good as you can get.
It's on 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, and if anyone is on the fence about watching it, but you're of course experiencing this content drought like we all are, I would say give it a dip. Yeah, just dip in. It's fun.
Yeah,
give it a go.
There's a bit of a lull in the middle, but once you get past that, it's pretty good. It's
decent entertainment.
It really
I would say
is.
that.
Yeah, and the actors will bring you through the boring bits.
Yeah,
with their charisma.
They are working hard.
Especially Dominique. She's awesome.
She is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed eating those words when I first seen her. I was like, I don't know about that. And I'm like, she's amazing.
Yeah. Also, her name in it is literally Robin, which is a fun superhero thing. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to mention about that.
We go into a bit of news.
Yeah, let's talk about some news. So should we start off with John Wick?
Mr. John Wick is going back to work.
Yeah,
but double time.
Yeah, so John Wick 4 and 5 are going to be shot together now.
This is crazy news.
Yeah.
So, virus that shall not be named.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this wasn't going to happen. This was not the original plan.
No, it wasn't.
Which is just mad to think. Now, obviously, this means Lionsgate. They were like, yeah, we'll make John Wick 4. We announced it, but we're making a 5. Like, that was always in the back of their head.
We gonna get our 5.
We gonna get a 5,
you hear
and
me?
we're getting a TV series. Now, that was announced like 2 years ago.
The Continental series.
That's eventually gonna be made.
I know, yeah.
But what's mad is, so The Matrix 4. It's still crazy that that's even happening as well. And I was going to say John Wick, Keanu Reeves.
I remember when
he's a busy boy.
I remember when the Wachowski brothers were directing Matrix movies.
That's how long ago?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just dead named them. I'm tweeting.
I didn't dead name them. I didn't name them.
Cancel.
I don't even know their new names. Anyway,
Lana and the other guy.
That's worse than what I did.
Other person.
And the other lady.
The Wachowskis.
The
That's
other
what they
lady.
go by.
The Wachowskis now.
The Wachowskis.
Yeah.
Damn! Just knocked off my high horse by myself.
Immediately.
By myself. Now I'm tweeting about myself. Cancel me.
You were laughing at me, then you turned around, stepped on a rake, and hit you in the face.
So...
John Wick 4 and 5.
So yeah, Keanu Reeves, what he was going to do was he was going to shoot The Matrix 4 at the start of this year.
Yeah.
Look, he's just smiling. Got that sly look in his face.
So funny. Anyway, yeah. He was going to do Matrix 4 this year.
He's going to do The Matrix 4 this year, and at the start of this year, and then midway, probably around now, he was going to start shooting John Wick 4.
Yeah.
And what happened was... The virus that shall not be named. So the pandemic happened, everything shut down. So The Matrix 4 only resumed filming now. So Lionsgate pushed John Wick 4 back a full year. So now they have like a year to spare, a year to just like work on things. They thought, let's use that year to write the fifth one. Which makes it sound like the fourth one was like pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, when everything shut down.
Oh, definitely.
Like script-wise, I mean. So this is crazy, and I actually love when film studios go, let's do something back to back.
Yeah.
Because I know John Wick actually lines up pretty well.
Yeah.
But I love when films like you can see the seams
exactly,
like or it's seamless. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
No, I know.
I love when they connect perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. Like it all just flows.
It just
into
streams
one.
into one. Yeah.
You could watch it all in one go if you were a psychopath. But yeah.
And also, I know there's going to be people going, do we really need a fifth one? Do we really need a second or third one?
Yeah, I know.
But I'll take them.
They're still good. Like, they're still good.
Yeah, we said off the podcast.
Yeah.
Until the director, it's not David Leitch. He's the one who kind of migrated after the first one.
He did.
But the other one, Stan Helsky or something his name is.
I think that's it. Yeah, we should probably look it up.
Yeah.
But until he's like, I don't want to do any more of these, I'm happy to keep watching these get pumped out, you know?
Yeah.
And... hopefully they use this time to work on 4 and 5, make the script a little tighter, because I know, like, Parabellum, I would say the script is a bit weak in places. It could have used a bit more work.
Chad Stahelski.
Chad Stahelski, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been making them all.
Yeah.
So he made the first, second, and third. Until he dips out, I am happy to just swallow these movies whole.
And if Keanu's happy to keep going, I'm happy to keep going.
If Keanu Reeves is out, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't even care if there's a cool motherfucker that's going to replace him.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah, me too. The John Wick franchise is great because movies normally stop at 3, and we're going to get 5 of them. So I'm happy. I'm happy to see that.
And a TV series. I don't really care about the TV series.
No.
But hey, I'd be happy to care about it if it was good.
Also, I like that we're getting 5 of these movies, and none of them are... He's old, but he's coming back. It's not It's not like Rambo where we have to wait so long to do it. They're going to do all 5 in one go.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that, and I'm glad that we're getting it. Same way that the Mission Impossible, the last 2 movies, are being filmed back to back.
They're going to line up so well.
I know.
They're having so many problems with that movie, though.
I know, it sucks. I keep reading about problems.
It's another problem. There was a massive accident on the set there.
I know.
And it was supposed to be the most expensive stunt of the whole film. And I don't actually know enough details to really get into it, but I just read that I think it was a motorcycle accident and there was a fire. And what I read, and I hate hearing this because you're like, who is this person? They're always like, oh, well, there was an unnamed source.
Yeah.
But supposedly, like, Tom Cruise was so upset
really?
Because this was a big, big deal and loads of pre-production went into it. And it's the biggest stunt of the whole movie. And now they're having problems, and of course the whole pandemic was a massive problem. And then he had problems with some like bridge that they were supposed to.
They were supposed to blow it up, and it was a landmark or something.
Yeah, so just let them do what they want to do.
Just let them do what they want, okay? Leave Tom alone, okay?
Leave him alone. He's a nice guy.
Leave Tom and Chris alone. They're fine. And Rebecca Ferguson,
legs,
hit me up. I'm famous enough for her to hit me up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've got like a few people who know who I am.
Like your family and
like
friends.
Like my family and friends, yeah, and close associates.
But hey, the John Wick 4 and 5, it's kind of crazy that it's happening.
I'm happy.
And I'm happy. And anyone who gives out about it, fuck you. I don't care. I actually don't care. I'm like, it's such a franchise that matters and doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You know, it's just fun.
If it wasn't good, I wouldn't be in its corner. But it is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
And it hasn't let me down yet.
No.
Parabellum, sure, it wasn't amazing. And I do hope that if they do, definitely do 4 and 5, it's not as long as Parabellum.
Yeah.
None of those movies should go over 2 hours long.
No. Definitely not. Now, longer than Tight 90, but way below 2 hours.
Like an hour 45. Solid. As a rock.
As a rock.
I'll take that. I'll consume that.
With the last 2 movies, hour 45
Both
each,
of them?
and then that adds up to 3 hours, 30 minutes. That's perfect.
I'm just seeing, Jamie Foxx.
Oh, man. But before we move off Keanu Reeves, we should talk about his other franchise, because if you pay attention and you tune in every week, you know there was a competition last week about the Bill and Ted, what is it, Strike Back or Face the Music?
Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Bill and Ted Face the Music. We posed a question to the audience.
Yeah, after the first real proper trailer, because I know there was a teaser trailer, but this was like the proper full trailer.
The trailer.
We watched that and went, oh, I see the ending.
I know what the ending is.
Oh, the ending is very obvious.
Yeah. So we posed a question to the audience, and we said, if you reach out and tell us what the ending of the movie is, we'll give you a shout out on the next podcast.
And someone got a spot on.
Spot on, exactly what we thought.
I assume lots of people did, but
this person reached out, I mean, they got shouted out.
Yeah, of course.
It was, and I'm going to use their Instagram name. It was the ESP MacNez Pod. So it's a podcast by Nez and the Zizou. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They hit us up on Instagram.
Either way, sounds cool.
Does sound cool.
Those names sound cool.
Does sound
Sounds cooler than Ian Connor.
Yeah, way cooler than Ian Connor. Yeah, I should get a name with the in front of it.
Oh, yes, please.
That would be pretty cool.
That Connor.
No, not that. Definitely not that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, congratulations. You managed to predict this predictable movie, and we're the first ones to do so to us.
And we should say then, so what we thought the trailer, what we thought was pretty obvious is they say that Bill and Ted need to play a song to save the universe.
Yeah, they've said that from the beginning, but now they say specifically in the trailer, it's not Bill and Ted, it's Garfield and Logan, which is their surnames,
and they happen to have 2 daughters in this movie. 2 teen
daughters who are also gathering together a band.
And also look like they might have a similar amount of screen time as their daddies.
Maybe even more screen time, I would argue.
Yeah, in the future, definitely.
But one's played by Samara Weaving, who we like.
Subscribe.
And the other one is another
the
actress.
other person.
Yeah,
Samara Weaving is amazing. Like
She is.
ever since I watched Ready or Not, and also The Babysitter.
she's great.
That's
in
like
both
a
of those.
quiet Netflix movie
Yeah.
that I hear no one talk about. It's actually a fun movie.
I really enjoyed that
Yeah,
movie.
me too.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a movie that I left. Like I stayed up all night thinking about all those issues it addressed.
No, yeah.
You know, but it was a fun, consumable movie.
Definitely. And Ready or Not is really good. Like
Ready
way,
or Not, like such a limited concept. Perfect.
way
Amazing.
better than it should be with an
Yeah.
amazing cast.
Almost
as
like
well.
the first John Wick.
Yeah, exactly.
The parameters are so small that you can't really make a mistake.
No, exactly.
And it's executed perfectly. And yeah, so I'm happy that if there isn't, I don't really care though as such. Like I don't need to see a Bill and Ted 4. They can't even call it Bill and Ted.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't think this movie is Bill and Ted, really. It's
yeah.
whatever their children's name are. But anyway, I would like to go back. Let's see, it's Bill and Ted, so I don't care enough, but I'd love to go back and see if the prophecy was Bill and Ted will write a song to save the
Definitely
world.
it is.
And now
Definitely.
it's Garfield and Logan,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, okay, well, look, if this is the route we're going, then fine, you know?
It's like one of those movies where a guy puts a briefcase down and the camera is going by
Yeah.
and just lingers
On
on
the
a briefcase
briefcase.
for a little too long, and you
Yeah.
go, "That's important.
Yeah, it is.
That's the MacGuffin,
Yeah.
or something's with that briefcase."
But then what this is though is the trilogy where it goes, it lingers on the briefcase in the first movie. You're like, oh, okay, that briefcase is important.
Yeah.
Then in the second movie, lingers even longer in the briefcase. Oh, that's important. Then it comes back, turns out it's a sports bag. It's been a sports bag the whole time. Were you not paying
What?
attention? It wasn't a briefcase. We've never said it was Bill and Ted who were going to write the
Shame
best song.
on you, the viewer.
Yeah, for assuming it had to be two men instead of two women.
I thought you were going to say, and then you go by and it's just two daughters.
Two
Like, hold on. That was a briefcase.
That was a briefcase
That was a
earlier.
briefcase. Now it's Samara Weaving and that person.
And that other actress. Yeah, but congratulations, Nez and the Zizou.
Yeah.
You are on the same wavelength as us. Is that a
Exactly.
compliment? I don't know.
I don't know. Is that problematic? I don't know.
but
Will I
hey.
be tweeting about it?
Definitely. I know. But yeah, so we said we'll just keep our word and shout you guys out.
I checked the trailer out.
Yeah, check out the trailer.
It's okay.
Yeah, we've given it away now. But anyway.
Will we get to the trailer we wanted to talk about?
Or do you want to talk about Army of the Dead?
Sure.
Yes.
Let's talk
yeah.
about Army of the Dead.
Yeah, Army of the Dead. So Army of the Dead is shot, completed, and done.
What is Army of the Dead?
It is a sequel to...
No.
Is it not?
No, Army of the Dead. I thought you didn't know.
No, it isn't.
It's not a sequel.
Is it not
Army of the
related
Dead.
to Dawn of the Dead?
No, it's just an original. Oh, is it?
Because
Is it in the same universe? I didn't read anything about it
Didn't
being.
Zack Snyder do a Dawn of the Dead movie?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I thought it was related to that.
Oh, I never read that.
Is it not? Okay. Well, anyway, it's another zombie movie by Zack Snyder that's coming out recently. That's coming out soon.
Hopefully, the end of this year.
End of this year.
Wait, will we just look this up?
Let's fact check this. You piece of shit, cause trying to deny me. I'm pretty sure this is true. But the film marks Snyder's return. It doesn't say it's related to our Dawn of the
I
Dead.
think they would have said it. I think it's just him making a zombie movie.
Is it just?
Will we just redo this? I think we should.
Yeah, it's been called the spiritual successor to Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
So it's not really in the same universe.
I think it counts.
Okay.
I think it counts. We can leave all that in.
Sure. Spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
In other words, the director made a zombie movie before.
Yeah.
And now he made another zombie movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What, 16 years later?
16 years later, yeah.
Yeah.
Scroll down the cast. I want to see if they've changed something.
Whatever could you be speaking of?
They
did.
Yeah, they changed it.
Wait. Okay.
Okay, interesting. Anyway,
must be a gender neutral name.
Must be. So we were excited about this movie anyway before. And
Yeah, because it's a Zack Snyder zombie movie, and he's only made one zombie movie before.
Yeah, and
It's actually really fun.
yeah, and this is a spiritual
Dawn of
sequel
the
to
Dead.
it, as I said earlier. But anyway, it also featured a few people that we actually really like Dave Bautista was in it, and we were very excited because a comedian that we both very, very much liked,
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia, was going to be in it.
Have you heard of Chris D'Elia? For all the wrong reasons?
Yeah, have you heard of him lately?
Yeah. Where is he?
I've met Chris D'Elia, and I thought he was fine. He took a picture with me. I was very happy about it at the time. Yeah, so anyway, some stuff has come out about Chris D'Elia that
everyone knows that he was
knows.
like texting underage girls.
Young girls.
Yeah,
and then,
I suppose.
Um,
But Chris D'Elia, if you were a fan of Chris D'Elia, like I've been a big fan of Chris D'Elia for a long time, and he has the Congratulations podcast, or had, because he hasn't made one since the allegations. He's always wanted to be an action star. So if you've ever watched his podcast, he's always harping on about he wants to be this like great comedian, and I think he is a great comedian who also wants to be an action star. And I've heard him say before that he wanted to be like if Jason Statham also did comedy. If Jason Statham was like crushing it at night in a comedy club, but also making the movies that he makes, he wants to be that guy. So this was a big deal that he was going to be in an action movie for him and for his fans, because he's been talking about this for years. And there's actually even a good clip where he's like, I'm in an action movie. You don't believe me? Wait until you see. He even does this thing where he's like, get down.
I'm saying all the lines. I'm doing all the bits.
And now he is not in a Zack Snyder zombie movie, which is so weird because it's already shot since 2019.
Yeah, the movie's done, and they can't reshoot it now because of the virus that will not be named. So they've decided to replace him with Tig Notaro,
because that's obviously where you go to next.
Where you
it's
go
such
with
a tread.
Such
a tread.
I follow that through line. Pepe Sylvia the entire time, you know. But so Tig Notaro is going to replace...
Same bone structure, I guess,
and build.
Muscularity.
But Tig Notaro is going to be replacing him, and you're like, okay, fine, it was a recast. But then the movie's already done, and it's been in post-production for a while, and they're talking about CGIing her face over his face.
Well, not necessarily. They just said that they're going to implement a lot of CGI. So it sounds like all this is going to be done in a studio. I feel like she's going to get a body scan. And then stuff's going to happen. Like, it's going to be very strange.
It's going to be weird.
I think this is going to be
a shit show.
No, do you know what? And I hate saying this because I know Zack Snyder, this is a soft subject. But I think this is going to be a Henry Cavill.
Mustache situation. He does not have a good history with removing or replacing.
Well, he didn't do that.
No,
that was DC, and that was Jossie Boy.
That's true. You know what? I take it back. I apologize.
That's why I'm saying it's a soft subject for him. But I think now he's going to have his own
mustache case.
Superman mustache floating lip situation going on, and I feel like Netflix are going to probably be like DC and go, we got this in the bag. Zach, we got this. We can pull this off. And I have a feeling we're going to be watching it and going, that's a 40-year-old 6'3" comedian.
6'3" comedian in that scene. I can't wait for her to be leaning on something.
With Tig's face on it.
She's leaning on something and she's like hands up here or something like this. She's like, I don't know what you guys. Or her arm is like incredibly long for some reason. She's like that original Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider poster where the proportions were all wrong.
It's so weird. Clearly, what they're gonna have to do is CGI him completely out, and then put her in, but her body dimensions are completely different. So they're gonna have to paint the background. So they're going to have to actually... I think what they're going to do is they're going to completely take him out and have to redo the background and then CGI her in, or at least paint her in a way. She's probably going to do blue screen or whatever, and then put her into the scene. And it's going to look so weird. I have a feeling you're going to watch it and she's going to be amongst other people. And you're like, she's not there. She's not there. And the background around her body looks weird. We have a big problem with the fact that it's Tig Notaro. Nothing to do with her.
No,
specifically.
She's very talented. And I've seen her on interviews. I've never actually watched one of her shows. Very funny.
But when I read that it was her, I'm like, damage control. This is a political statement.
It seems.
Get another male who is around 6'1", 6'2", the same body shape as Chris D'Elia, and put him in there. Because that's just a lot easier to do.
Or even get a big female. Get like Ronda Rousey or fucking...
No, Gina Carano.
Gina Carano. I was trying to think of her name,
Gina
but I couldn't.
Carano.
Get Gina Carano
They
in.
get her biceps in there.
Just give her curly, shaggy hair, and from behind she... that's Gina,
Same
you're beautiful.
Same thing. Is that what you're going to say? Same thing. I just find... I've no problem with like Tig Notaro being in that movie.
No.
But I just think... It's going to make more problems.
I don't see the
for the
one-to-one.
post-production. That's what's the problem. And I'm like, why? Let's just make it easier. You know, because we said this in the last podcast, when Christopher Nolan's like, you know what, I'm going to put Ellen Page's hair in a bun for those anti-gravity scenes, because then it's easier and we don't need to use as much CGI.
Exactly.
Like, that's just some good workmanship going on there. Putting Tig Notaro in that is causing a lot of problems.
And I just want to know whose decision it was to put her in. it'd be interesting. Also,
so, like, Zack Snyder's like, oh well, if he can, if you really want me to take her out of it, it definitely should be Tig Notaro that comes in.
Yeah, he's like,
throw Jason Momoa in there. He seems to love him.
Yeah.
Throw Ray Fisher in there.
Yeah. Cyborg life, motherfucker.
I bet they're around similar heights.
I'd say so. Probably are.
That would make it way easier, I'm sure.
I mean,
just for the body type, the shoulder size, and all like that. So there's less painting out. It's just be the hair, maybe.
And you're removing him entirely. So I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. And you know what? It's tough because we were fans of Chris D'Elia. I mean, I still am a fan of Chris D'Elia.
I'm a fan of his comedy.
I'm a fan of his comedy.
I'm a fan of his work.
Yeah.
And that's not the work that he was doing behind the scenes.
And this is a blow, really, for him. Like, I know how much it meant that he was going to be in an action movie, and for this to happen is, it's tough.
And also, this is not a political statement, and this is not defending him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the evidence is so hazy that it's not
it's not cut and dry.
It doesn't warrant a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
You know that way? Like, I'm not sure what. I still think maybe there's more evidence to come out.
Yeah.
But either way, until now, it's definitely not 100% cut and dry. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. It hasn't been cut and dry
That's
yet.
a minefield of a sentence.
I know.
And I don't know if I stuck the landing, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 100% cut and dry. Like, that's what happened, and he is a bad person.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's no authorities getting involved, so that says something as well.
Also, when we're, like, talking about this, it's just difficult. We feel like we have to be the dissenting voice, because when you read Collider and they're like,
or a lot of
publications, and they're like, oh, just a total improvement, they're just going to CGI him out. No one's addressing the difficulty in that.
And doing
no one
that.
is even. Remember when they were like,
what about the product?
Right. Remember when they're like, they're going to CGI out his mustache, and everyone was talking about how difficult that would be? Not a single person has mentioned how difficult and crazy it is to try and do.
Put it this way, Collider is more on board with Tig Notaro being in this movie and more anticipating her being in this movie than the movie coming out.
Yeah. I think
that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck are you talking about then?
Yeah.
That you're just more happy that she's in it than happy about this movie coming out.
Yeah.
You're not interested in this movie.
No.
When I read their views on Chris D'Elia being taken out of this movie, there's no anticipation for this movie.
No.
Just anticipation for him getting taken out and her putting in.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you saying?
I know. It's weird.
You're a film publication. You're a film news website.
You're allowed,
what are we saying here?
You're allowed to give your opinion on stuff. We give our opinion on stuff all the time, but
don't be more hyped for her being in it than the movie itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And for him getting taken out, which is really what it is.
Yeah. I gotta say, I am less hyped for this movie now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But I'm very interested to see what she looks like
me too.
on screen. I want to see, does it work or not? And if it does work, Jesus, I'm going to applaud whatever CGI team. Get Wet Digital on this right away.
Yeah.
And they look at it and go, just keep him in.
Yeah. When does The Boys come out, by the way? September. Oh, fuck. I thought it was sooner. Never mind. I just saw it. I see Anthony Starr staring at me in the corner of the screen, and I'm like, when do I get to look at this beautiful, sadistic bastard again? No, Anthony Starr.
Right, will we finish up with a small bit other... Well, we have that trailer.
Yeah, let's talk about the trailer.
For just a minute or two.
No, let's. So about... What was it, 2 weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, a trailer came out for a movie, and
Taken 4.
No, it's The Honest Thief, a spiritual sequel to Taken
3.
Taken 3.
Taken franchise itself.
Basically, I saw this trailer with Liam Neeson in it. I watched it, and I immediately sent it on to Ian, and I was like, look at how terrible this is.
What the fuck is this?
So, Liam Neeson is
he plays a 60-year-old
bank robber.
Former bank robber who's now trying to adjust his life.
He's robbed 16 banks in the country. I have over $9 million. And it's like, $9 million is a low number.
Yeah,
low number for robbing banks.
You're not hot shit here, okay?
And then basically what happens is he gets a sweet younger girlfriend.
Redhead girlfriend. Let's be specific about it.
He gets a sweet redheaded girlfriend.
Because I can see that.
Yeah, me too. And he's like...
I can relate, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And he's like, me too. And he's like, I want to turn myself in now. It's
Yeah, it should be titled Pussy Whipped.
Yeah.
This guy just fucking changes his whole life.
Yeah.
All his bank robber friends are like, oh, you meet one girl and you don't text us back now.
Exactly.
You don't hang out anymore. What the fuck's going on?
Can he only rob banks
Neeson?
when his balls are full? Now they're getting drained. He's like, oh, what have I done?
And it also makes sense that he lost his wife in the third Taken.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Also, spoiler alert. It's fucking awful and don't watch it.
It's terrible.
And now he's back on the wagon. You know, he's on the date and he's been on Tinder or whatever. And he's got himself a girlfriend. Liam Neeson should never say... 60-year-old Liam Neeson should never say the word girlfriend in any movie.
My girlfriend have nothing to do with this.
She had nothing to do with this. Fucking Pussy Whipped.
Can't decide whether he's a pirate in this movie.
And it's called Pussy... no, it's called...
It is called Pussy Whipped.
It's called Honest Thief. And
he's not honest.
Well, he's only honest now because he got some vagina in his life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's not really...
That's not cool.
No.
You're not a good guy then.
Yeah, he still is not a good guy.
Yeah, mate, I got this hot missus now, so I'm just going to change my life, so now I'm a good guy.
Yeah, he's like, she's making me change so much about myself. For example, I have to turn myself in for these crimes I've been committing and everything.
Also, watch the trailer. Why are you confessing?
I don't understand.
They don't fully give us the details. Like, is he on the run?
Yeah.
Like, why would you... What does he expect? He's like, well, you know, if I just confess, then I can have a great life with my new redhead girlfriend. Like, I don't understand his intentions.
What about taking the money and just having a great life?
Is he a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Like, is he like, oh, no, I've got this fucking amazing girlfriend, so I'm going to ring the police and say, here's 9 million back, boys.
Listen, Ian.
And then I get to walk into the sunset. I don't understand what's going on.
Ian, you got to watch the movie to find out, okay?
Do I?
Yes, you do. Also, Liam Neeson is involved in very few action scenes in this. A lot of them is him sitting in the car trying to be intimidating, counting to 10. It's awful. It also features box office draw Jai Courtney.
Oh, yeah. He's back, baby.
He's back.
Hey, he has the Suicide Squad 2 coming out.
That's true.
Sorry, the Suicide Squad. Jesus, James, don't fucking attack me, James.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, which got a new... we saw the title, and some of the guys were teasing their characters, which was pretty cool. I liked it.
Ooh.
Yeah, DC Fandom on the 22nd of August, despite being pre-recorded, is going to be an event.
It does take the sweetness out of it a little bit that it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's trailers.
I just can't wait to be sitting on my phone, ignoring the DC Fandom, and then
CW swipe.
Yeah,
CW swipe,
and then to get the notification and look and say the Batman trailer 1 released, or
subscribe.
Suicide Squad trailer 1 released. Yeah, let me see it.
Let me goddamn see it.
Anyway, is there anything more to be said about that? I think we're
true. I wanted to just say that I seen Jurassic World Dominion just implemented a 9 million safety plan so that they can shoot during this pandemic.
Which is so weird.
Which is crazy, 9 million. So now studios not only have like their production budget and their marketing budget and the wages for the actors, but they also got their safety guidelines budget as well. Like,
I wonder in any scenes...
Or the safety plan budget.
I wonder in any scenes, are we going to see people like standing at a weird distance from each other in the movie?
Oh, that would be weird. Well, they're testing almost every day.
Okay. Right.
But 9 million.
Sam Neill being tested on a daily basis. Yeah. He's like, I hate coming back to this stupid franchise. Why did I agree to do this?
Again. And then he looks at his bank account and he's like, there's bye.
Yeah, there you go.
Another grandson put through college, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's the episode.
That is. Jamie Foxx is in the Spawn reboot. He was saying it couldn't have happened without Black Panther. So.
Yeah. No. This has been talked about forever. Jeremy Renner's supposed to be in it as well. Yeah. I don't know if that's even still going ahead. That was like 2 years ago.
I know. But hey, apparently Jamie Foxx is still working on it. And after seeing Project Power, I'm excited to see him in more superhero stuff.
I want to see his Tyson movie.
Me too. I really want to see his Tyson movie.
And that's not happening anytime soon because Martin Scorsese is supposed to be filming his next movie towards the end of this year.
With Leo and Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Or early next year.
Ugh.
So that means that then you have another year in post-production, which means that most likely I wouldn't see... If this is... So say Scorsese's next movie after that is the Tyson movie, the Mike Tyson movie with Jamie Foxx. You're talking 3 years before that's in front of the cameras. So 4 years before it's released. And that's probably the tightest time frame.
That's crazy. Also, like, I mean, you couldn't put Scorsese and De Niro out at the moment. Like, imagine.
I know.
Imagine what could happen with the two of them. Scorsese already looks like the frailest man in the world.
I know. Just get as many movies out of him.
And I
as
love the
he
guy.
can.
I love the guy.
He could be my favorite director.
Yeah,
he's definitely top 5 for me.
I'd agree with that. But yeah, that's kind of it.
And by the way, if you like the podcast, how about subscribing, please?
Yeah.
That would be great. Like and subscribe. We're on YouTube. I don't know where you're listening or watching this on, but well, if you're watching it, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But we're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We're
Spotify.
on Spotify. We're on pretty much every major podcast platform.
Yeah, so tell a friend. Check us
Please
out
do.
on the social medias. We're straight. Just look up Straight to Series. You'll find us.
Yeah, and if whatever platform you're listening to it on or watching it now, please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
If you like what you're hearing.
Please, guys. We really appreciate it. We took 2 weeks off.
Is that too thirsty? Did I sound too thirsty?
I don't know, but I only
Please, God, fucking.
I only respond to thirst, as I've said previously on
I was
this
getting
podcast.
inspired from the terse messages we've been receiving on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, that's
What can I say? So this podcast is just a thirst trap, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. That's the entire reason we're doing this is a thirst trap to get my Tinder account more swipes. And my God, it has not worked yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. One day.
Pending.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Hunk and Skunk.
Ooh.
So Hunk this week we have decided to give to the breakout star of the 2 movies
Who
that were
schooled me.
released this week. Schooled me.
Changed my mind.
Schooled you. Dominique Fishback.
Pure excellence.
She
one
is
of the best
awesome.
things about Project Power, if not the best.
I cannot wait to see more from this girl. She was awesome.
And we're comparing her to also the 2 powerhouses of Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon Levitt.
Yeah.
So that's saying a lot.
It is. And those 2 guys are cool as fuck in that movie as well.
Couldn't be cooler.
If it
Couldn't be cooler.
wasn't for Dominique, they would have had to split Hunk this week.
The coolest dads ever.
Yeah. The 2 coolest dads. I want them to be my dads.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, then all your friends just want to hang out with him.
I know, yeah.
And also all your girlfriends just want to fuck Jamie Foxx.
But listen, imagine how cool I'd be if I'd grown up with those 2 guys.
Also, you'd be very good looking.
You'd be very good looking, very cool if they made a little like sperm baby or whatever they do. How do they do that? Will you explain it to me afterwards?
Can't.
Okay, all right.
Because I don't understand.
Okay, cool. And then Skunk of the Week is going to Bobby Soto.
Bobby So can't act for fuck.
No, he can't.
Jesus Christ.
You made the longest 90 minutes of my life happen.
Now, at the same time, the script was probably written on some toilet roll.
Yeah.
It's pure shite.
Yeah.
But still, Shia LaBeouf made it good.
Yeah, if David Ayer, you would have got Skunk of the Week if Bobby Soto hadn't been such a terrible lead.
You talked me off the ledge. I wanted
did.
to give it to David Ayer.
Yeah.
You came in close. You were a close second there, David.
I was.
You're not off the hook.
You're not off the hook yet. You'll get Skunk at some other stage.
Oh, yeah, you'll get it, boy.
Yeah, but Bobby Soto takes it this week. So there you go.
Yeah.
2 franchises that were supposed to boost someone's career. One was a vehicle for Dominique. The other proved just how bad Bobby Soto is. And that's the podcast, everybody.
Thank you for listening and tuning in.
Yeah.
And we will hopefully catch you next week.
Hopefully. Are we going to do it next week or are we going to take another 2 weeks off?
No, I think we should do it next week.
We should do next week.
We should do next week.
What do we do next week?
Are you going to do next week?
Find out next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See ya.